What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Good morning. We just got through the EW stream, and as it turns out, there's a hotfix that just dropped today. For PC, it dropped today. It's going to be dropping for console a little bit later in the week, was what Jaxie said. Hopefully in a couple days, few days, it'll drop for console too. We're going to go over all of this hotfix patch notes. We're going to go through all of it, but the main thing I want to talk about is the Great One exclusive fur variations that were extremely rare before. Today, it was announced that they are greatly increased, much more likely to spawn. That's what I want to focus on in this video, but we're going to go over all of the patch notes, get you guys all caught up, and then we're going to talk about these Great One fur variations and go more into detail. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, don't forget to drop a like, but let's just jump straight into the video. All right, so first things first, for console only, I'm looking at the patch notes here. I've got them up on my other monitor. Let's see. So the issue with the 60 FPS, that whole thing, this is a little bit convoluted the way this is written, but I'm trying to understand exactly what they're saying. I'm going to read the whole thing. So basically it says, fixed an issue on Xbox Series X and Series S that resulted in lower quality image output compared to previous versions of the game. So, as some members of the community guessed, the Xbox Series X and S versions of the game were running on the Xbox One's visual settings following the 60 FPS update. This resulted in a visible loss of visual quality compared to what players were used to. On Series X, the visual quality has been restored to pre-patch levels while still offering a smoother frame rate. On Series S, we've made the choice following community feedback to return to 30 FPS in order to offer players a greater image quality at 1440p. While these are solutions we've privileged in order to act fast on this issue, know that we will continue to further work on optimizing these versions of the game. So, it sounds like they reverted to 30 FPS on Series S, but it's been changed to 60 FPS on Series X, I think. I'm trying to make sense of it, but it does sound like both Series X and Series S are going to have a smoother gaming experience, better quality. I think that's what that says. I don't know, but let's move on. So console and PC. There's some notes for console and PC, and let's go through these. So the default keybind for placing a waypoint using the binoculars with a controller has been changed to Y or triangle, depending on if you're on Xbox or PlayStation. So this was a big issue that a lot of people were complaining about. Basically, on console, they bound the same button as the spotting button to be the button that you would use to spot and make a waypoint with your binoculars, right? So they added the ability with the recent update to mark using your binoculars, right, to mark a waypoint, which is a huge, awesome thing to add to the game. So basically, you can make a waypoint without having to go into the map and kind of guess where you're trying to, what you're trying to pinpoint and mark. You could just do it through the binoculars, whatever you're looking at, press a button, just like in Way of the Hunter, right, and leave yourself a mark on the map. The problem was they bound it to the same button as the button to spot on the controller for console. So every time that the console players were out trying to spot something, they would be leaving a marker and changing their waypoint around without trying to do that. So, you know, you would your old waypoint that might have been really important would disappear and constantly leave marks every time you're trying to spot something. So that's been fixed. Thankfully, that has been fixed. It does say that you may have to reset your controller keybinds for this change to take effect. So keep that in mind as well. Need zones discovered while playing solo should now persist after joining a multiplayer session. That's huge. So a lot of you guys noticed that some of your zones were disappearing after playing in multiplayer. So basically the bug was, you know, if you were in single player, you know, trying to start your Great One grind, or, you know, starting on New England mountains and getting all your zones, if you went into multiplayer in that same map and then went back to single player, your zones were disappearing. So people were very confused, like, you know, put in all this work, getting my zones, trying to start my grind up, played a multiplayer for a bit, went back to single player, now my zones are gone. I got to start over again. So that has been fixed. Luckily, that was hot fixed as well. I'm really happy to see that these are getting fixed so fast with this hot fix coming out. Very, very fast. And these are things that needed to be quickly fixed. So this is very, very good to see. Let's keep moving through it. Players should no longer crash when teleporting to specific locations in various reserves. That's a big one. That is an awesome fix. The dog should no longer become unresponsive after the player dies and respawns. So that's been fixed as well. The UI keybinds for keyboard and mouse should now save properly between sessions. Fantastic. Players should no longer lose the ability to leave water blinds after harvesting an animal or be ejected from regular blinds. That's been fixed as well. Players should no longer get stuck waiting for the weapon customization screen to load. However, it may take up to 20 seconds. Okay, so That was a big one. A lot of people couldn't get into the weapon customization screen. It would just be stuck on a loading screen, and you wouldn't actually be able to get in and do the weapon customization. This was a big thing both on console and PC. A lot of people had this. There was a couple content creators that couldn't even do it and couldn't get into their weapon customization screens and customize the weapon. So that's been hotfixed as well. Very, very happy to see that, because that was a big one too. And they've said that it might take up to 20 seconds. So if it's not loading in right away, if you get that loading screen, give it 20 seconds. Okay, if it takes longer than that, 30 seconds goes by, it still hasn't worked, then, you know, put in a ticket, contact EW, say, hey, this is still an issue. It's still not working. I waited for 30 seconds, a minute, and it's still not loading. But give it 20 seconds, because it might take up to 20 seconds. And then, of course, the big one, the Great One Moose are now more likely to spawn with Great One exclusive fur variations. So very vague, but Jaxie got a little bit more into detail in the stream. He said they were greatly increased. The spawn rates for the exclusive fur types, for the rare fur types, were greatly increased. He said we're going to start seeing them getting shot. Obviously, as we all know, all of the Great Ones so far that have been shot were all commons, and we haven't seen any of these exclusive fur types that were revealed that we were also excited about. So they have been greatly increased. The spawn rates have been greatly increased, so we should be starting to see them. I'm kind of glad I haven't spawned a Great One yet, because I know that it would be a bittersweet moment for me. There's been so much anticipation for this Great One Moose. It's finally here. We were teased with those amazing fur variations. I just think that as exciting as it would be to see the 10 Fabled, if it was common, I am going to be just a little bit disappointed. So if we've got a better chance now of getting one of those amazing fur variations. And he also mentioned, Jaxie mentioned in the stream, that there are albino, piebald, and melanistic variations for the Great Ones as well. Now, whether the rarity is the same for those exclusive variations, right? The oak, the ashen, the birch, the spruce, the two-tone, the speckled, right? Whether those are the same rarity as like an albino or a piebald or a melanistic is unknown, and he didn't touch on that any further. So my thing is, like, are they going to be the same? Maybe the albino, the melanistic are maybe even more rare. Is it exactly the same? Maybe the 6 exclusive fur types that are for the Great Ones only, maybe those are a little bit more rare than an albino or a piebald or a melanistic. Hopefully we're going to start to see these start to spawn and get shot, and maybe we can get an idea of just how rare these are. But he did say they're greatly increased, the spawn rates. I'm hoping that means like maybe like 1 in 4, 1 in 5 kind of thing. I'm okay with there still being commons, but you know, I think it would be unfair to take the commons out completely. I think it'd be a little bit unfair to the people that have already spawned them and have already gotten them. So keep the commons. I'm okay with that, but make it like a 1 in 4, 1 in 5 kind of thing to get one of the exclusive fur variations, or to get an albino or a piebald or a melanistic. So that's what I'm hoping for. And hopefully we're going to see some of these amazing Great One fur variations shot soon. That's pretty much it for me, you guys. I just wanted to go over all of the hotfix patch notes here, get you guys all up to speed, talk about the Great One Moose fur variations and the changes and everything. And yeah, super stoked. Hopefully we can spawn one of those Great One fur variations. I'm very excited to get back out there and keep the grind going. Thank you guys very much for watching and for all the support lately. I really appreciate it. We're getting close to 40,000 subscribers. We're trying to hit 40,000 by 2023, by the new year. So subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. And drop a like if you enjoyed the video. That helps a lot too. I appreciate you guys. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.